Vape Nation is its own nationality.
Alright. Now we can go.
Mortal Kombat Fatality.
Alright. Welcome back, pimps, to another episode of the Mid-Map Podcast. As always, I'm your host, AJ, with Dylan and Michael. We're going to go as deep as we can tonight, man. We're starting a lot earlier than we normally do, so we'll see how it goes. We want you to subscribe to all our social medias. We got Twitter, which is at Mid-Map Podcast. We got patreon.com/midmappod. Email us at Gmail, or what is it? www.gmail.com. No. midmappodcast@gmail.com.
You
Sorry.
suck! Get off the stage! Go the fuck home, Richard.
I don't know why I always fuck up the email address. But yeah, find us on YouTube, or if you're watching us on YouTube, give us a thumbs up, comment on the video, tell us that we look gay and fat. I mean, it's not true,
It happens, though.
but yeah.
One of those isn't true. And I'm definitely not fat.
I got a BMI at less than 11, so suck my
Yeah.
dick. Alright, it's kind of a weird innuendo on the topic we're doing today, because we're, for the first time, coming back with a part 2 immediately following.
For the first time.
For the first time, and it's immediately after our episode on where the fuck are these kids going, and what the fuck is going on with the sexual abuse in this goddamn country. I can't stand it.
What if we just build a wall? We wouldn't have this problem.
Built a wall around fucking
Everybody.
Hollywood.
Everyone's genitals. We'll build a
Every-
wall
exactly.
around everyone's genitals.
Bring back the
Yes.
chastity belt.
Bring it back chastity belts. That's all we need to
Bring
know.
back chastity belts. That's literally
Or we should,
unlockable ones.
or
Like,
we
yeah,
should,
for
we
sure.
should publicly execute pedophiles. I think that's.
Ooh. That could be
I
a
mean,
good
that's-
idea.
okay.
But do you think that
but-
might traumatize some motherfuckers?
Okay, first of
I don't
all,
care.
with that traumatized, listen. If we were to do this in public with people, like, don't we know that there's gonna be some sick fucks out there that are gonna
Oh,
do
yeah.
that because they're like, no way,
What?
Mom, I'm on TV.
Suicide by pedophilia.
Oh Lord.
Yeah, I want to give a shout out to my friends in Boston.
I don't know if that's the way I'd want to go.
No, definitely not.
There's some fucking
Public.
weirdos who've done weirder shit. But if we're looking at the mass of what people
I feel
like
like
we do,
people
most people would probably
stop.
yeah.
Yeah, you know, instant execution if you're found fucking.
Because the charges they have now on them, first of all, they need to be getting fixed in
All
other
right.
ways.
So whenever we think about it, though, man, it's always thought about like, you know, it's like a 40-year-old dude fucking a 6-year-old or something like that. But it's also, you know, the 25-year-olds or whatever, you know, fucking around with 16-year-old girls. That's
Yeah.
pedophile too, you know.
Yeah, that's true. It's a kind of a gray area. I don't know.
I think there's a
There's
lot of
There's
in that young of a stage in your life. I'm sorry, you first of all, like, and I think we can see it as a society. You don't know in that age what's going on. You're gonna change your mind and other shit like that too. But the fact that like these older people can come in, and I think older people, like when you're at that age, they can manipulate you. You know, you can be
Definitely.
manipulated. Like I think, you know, like they're getting manipulated into being these relationships. They think but like you're at 2 different stages of your life. That shit,
Exactly.
you have enough
Exactly.
room to move around and learn. That's not okay. We've said it's not okay.
It's grooming, man. These older people, they come in there and they groom them to be what they want, you know.
dude, that's a huge problem in the UK right now. Those grooming gangs.
Yeah.
Yeah, it's like way bad. They just released him, but there was a reporter who got arrested because the UK doesn't have First Amendment like we do, and he was covering a grooming case, like a child grooming case. With a bunch of, it's like a Muslim grooming gang that they had there. There were like 8 dudes that were out molesting kids and stuff, and like he was just reporting on it outside the courthouse, and he got arrested, and he was supposed to do 13 months in prison, which is basically a death sentence because the prisons are flooded with Muslims.
Right.
He's like the biggest anti-Muslim dude in the UK right now.
What the fuck? So he was.
Yeah, his name's Tommy Robinson, dude. Look that up. Like there was like this big campaign called Free Tommy and stuff.
Dude, what the fuck? That's crazy. So he got thrown.
He got thrown in prison for covering a news story as a journalist.
Yeah. What the fuck?
Yeah,
That's, where was he when he got in trouble?
right outside the courthouse where they were doing the trial.
Oh, so they were doing the trial on them, and that's where he got caught. What the fuck? What? That's crazy as fuck.
Yeah, it's fucking nuts.
You can't fucking you're gonna stop some guy from just
Putting the information out
story
there.
of something you're just
I
gonna
mean,
arrest him.
that's what they want to do.
Well, I mean, they
want
still-
to stop the
Wait,
information.
hold on. He's gonna get.
Because then,
So, wait, you said it's mostly Muslim. Is this in a UK prison?
Yeah.
It's mostly Muslim in the UK prison. Okay, and he's about to go in. I see. Yeah, he's gonna die.
Well, he's out now.
Oh well, bless his soul.
Yeah, they didn't want to deal with like the PR nightmare that was revolving around it.
Fuck yeah.
But talking about grooming, we touched on in the last episode the Boys Town and the Franklin cover-up, and the conspiracy of silence.
Yeah, we just give quick intro on the fucking
Quick
Boys
recap.
Town.
Alright, so Boys Town was
We need to.
in 1988. The authorities looked into citizens in Nebraska, like all the way up to high-profile politicians that were directly involved in child prostitution. Right?
it was the Lawrence King Jr.
Yep,
That
Lawrence
was
King
him.
Jr.
Yeah, he was the what was the
He was
fucking?
the pimp.
He's a pimp. What did he own down there? Like a credit union or something like that?
Yeah, he owned
Like
the
he's working with the banks or some shit.
Yeah.
he owned
Fucking
what's it
weird
called?
motherfucker.
The Franklin Community Federal.
Oh,
Credit
yeah.
Union
Yeah.
That's
in
what it's
Omaha,
the
Nebraska.
Yeah, and then what they get accused of or whatever is like devil worshipping, fucking all this cannibalism.
They got they were accused of devil worship, the mutilation of bodies, sacrifices, and cannibalism of multiple children.
So this is at this Franklin Community Credit Union, whatever.
No, this
No,
is
he's-
an ad,
he's-
but that's what he
yeah, it's
owned.
not there.
That was his business.
That was his
idea.
business.
Oh,
It happened to a bunch of male boy orphans, and that's why they called it Boys Town. Was
where
because
it just happened in random parts in Boys Town. With
yeah,
him,
all
but
over.
with
Yeah.
him and fucking.
Well, a lot of the alleged victims were from the Omaha like orphan facilities, and a lot of them claimed that they were flown from Omaha out of foster care to the East Coast for what they described as children as bad parties. So literally, what they testified as is they called them bad parties.
Yeah.
Against the kids.
Yeah. They like where they would have sex parties where they were
Yeah.
fucking kids.
That's good.
And they would call them bad parties.
That's what
The kids called them.
Or the kids call them bad parties.
Yeah. And I mean, we touched on it in the last episode, like 13 people directly tied to the prosecution were killed within 19 months of each other, including the chief prosecutor of the case. And they were doing FBI, local government, federal
What the
government,
fuck?
local business owners. Like,
Yeah, and like the case got dismissed.
yeah,
afterwards.
case got dismissed because
Nobody else
No,
wanted to
yeah.
fucking die.
So yeah, I mean, they fucking just killed everyone involved.
Yeah, pretty much.
Wow.
well, not everyone involved, but everyone prosecuted.
Yeah.
Now, like, comes to my question is like, how many people are expendable, to the elite class? Like,
Everybody is.
yeah,
The only thing they need is fucking workers to fucking do the shit for them. That's all they need is fucking enough people to be able to work for them.
Yeah.
So that's what they need. They're trying to figure out, man.
I mean, they can control shit, from as
Yeah.
high up as you think it's like, oh, like you get poor people to do anything. fucking richest motherfuckers in the world should a rich person.
Well,
you know,
it's
you
It's
crazy.
like
did this.
the fucking Bert Kreischer, a comedian, does like a great story about how when he moved to LA and met Will Smith, and he got invited to go see a movie with Will Smith, and his dad told him that Will Smith was trying to fuck him because he's like, you can bang any chick you want. Eventually, pussy isn't fun for you anymore. You want to fucking turn a straight dude.
Wait, who said it? Will Smith said that?
Bert Kreischer invited, and Bert Kreischer's dad told him that, and but it wasn't true. He just like wanted because he was gonna work on a movie with him and
I
Nick
mean,
Cannon and
Will
shit.
Smith and his wife are swingers.
Oh, that's dope.
Yeah, for sure. That's how they've been together so long. They said it out loud and everything, dude.
Do they say it out loud?
Yeah, dude.
Do they actually?
I'm not afraid of that shit. Why would you be?
Yeah, why would you be embarrassed? But my question
I
is,
mean, I just never knew. All right, let's go on. I wish we could stay about talking about
well,
swingers, Will Smith and his wife.
well, my question is, other than like Trump and his direct group of people that are trying to take on human trafficking and child sex abuse, like, is there a force in the elite that is against the sacrifice of innocence?
Elite? Like, I don't know. Would you consider Ashton Kutcher elite?
Mm-mm.
No. Ashton Kutcher, he's in that shit though, man.
I think he's
Well, Ashton Kutcher is like, he won like a human rights award for being like the biggest threat to human trafficking
Yeah,
and
dude,
sex abuse.
He's in that shit.
I think he's pretty big.
Well, I don't think when I say elite, I mean like fucking people like the Rothschilds.
Yeah.
Oh,
Rothschilds,
well, no,
like-
dude, because fucking the Rothschilds and, Rockefeller and fucking all those big names, they all go to fucking, that Bohemian Grove thing or whatever like that,
Yeah, where they burn an effigy of a child under a fucking
Yeah.
stone owl.
Exactly.
Wait, they what?
Burn an effigy. It's like a fake sacrifice. It's probably
Yeah,
an
a
effigy.
fake sacrifice,
They burn a fake kid.
Yeah.
Yeah, and well, they burn like what's supposedly like a tinder of sticks
Mhm.
underneath this owl god, and they play the screams of a baby over a loudspeaker. But the crazy thing is Alex Jones footage of it. You can watch it
Yeah,
on YouTube,
yeah.
and he fucking snuck into the redwoods in because it takes place in the redwoods in
Yeah,
California,
Sonoma, California.
and he recorded the thing the event, like the effigy burning, and you can distinctly tell that there's a baby over a loudspeaker screaming. But like people that do like audio analysis have shown that there's also a different child. Like, they cut the recording. There's a different decibel level, and then you can actually hear like a real like child screams.
Yeah.
Oh wait, like there's an actual child there.
Yeah.
Oh, yeah.
Oh shit.
Yeah, and there's people there like, the Bushes are there, Cheney, Eisenhower has been there, Gerald Ford, Hoover, Reagan, Roosevelt, all,
Yeah,
it's,
there's a picture out there of George Bush Jr., George Bush Sr., Bill Clinton, I think it was Reagan, and basically the last like 5 presidents that were alive at the time were all there, and they're all supposed to fucking hate each other because they all ran against each other, backstabbed each other, and all this shit. They're all there sitting at the same table, smiling and laughing and shit.
Wow, I've not seen that.
It's,
What the
dude, it's
fuck?
all fucking game, dog.
big game.
They were all there at the fucking fire, killing kids and shit.
Supposedly.
Supposedly, well, I mean, you said you have footage of them.
Well,
Are they there? Like you
it's-
said, they're
you
footage
can't.
of them?
It's because it's from across the lake. Because you didn't like infiltrate.
Mhm.
Yeah.
But he videotaped it from across the lake. And then audio analysis later, like 10 years later, because of more developed software and shit, they were able to be like, oh, hey, like there's 2 different scream noises. You know what I'm saying?
Yeah. Yeah, that's.
And I mean, that comes to
But
fucking.
like, so this video recording was a recording when the presidents
yeah,
and shit
it was,
were
it
there.
was, yeah.
That's what
They're
the
there
recording
every
was
year.
of?
They're there every year.
Oh.
It's a yearly thing.
Like late June, late July. So like just happened.
Which is like the.
It's
sun-
still happening. It's like
the-
16 days or something like that.
I think Is it? I think it's a week.
I think it's 16 days.
Is
It's 2 weeks. Yeah.
But anyway, on the last day they burned that effigy.
No, I thought it was the first day, dude.
Is it?
Yeah, I'm
Oh,
pretty
I
sure.
thought it was the last. I don't know. I'm not well versed in the.
I was kind of just looking it up and shit, you know, doing some research.
Dude, what the fuck that they go out there?
Yeah. They say it's like, you know, it's like a whole fake thing, a little fraternity, you know, a fraternity of old rich fucks.
Yeah.
That's
Do
what
we
they
know-
say it
Do
is.
we know that they? I mean, have we seen any proof that they actually are killing these kids?
No, it's all hearsay. The only evidence that shows it is the audio analysis from the footage, because that's the only footage of the event ever.
Well, in the footage, is there any hearing of like maybe a baby crying? I mean, maybe he was crying like.
No, but I think it's kind of weird though, man. Like, you know, the whole thing got started in the, 1880s and this and that, you know. So like, they had a couple years to plan, and then like, everything since then has just kind of been booming off toward this new world order kind of situation.
Yeah, I mean that's where a lot of this shit goes.
Yeah, I don't know.
I mean that's how they get a lot of these politicians that run, like all these young politicians that are hopeful and like, oh, I'm gonna do this, this, and this, and then they stonewall themselves. It's because they get caught doing fucking, like that's the theory is that they get fucking roped into this elite fucking like where they're like, all right, well either you're gonna do this or you're not gonna be an elected official anymore, and then you do it, and they're like, all right, well you're gonna agree to this because we have footage of you fucking a kid and like shit like that. And that's how they get like people to do shit that's against their own interest in politics.
Yeah. That's fucking nutty, dude.
Yeah, it's fucking crazy. Like,
It's so insane.
and that's where the whole new thing, because the WikiLeaks came out with Pedogate, which is like the real deal, and then there's the Pizzagate, which is like spun off of that, which is fucking crazy.
Pizzagate is pretty crazy.
It's fucking insane, but there are a lot of fucking weird shits going on with that whole thing. Like I don't think that the owner of a pizza parlor in DC is fucking pimp like to the elites and running a sex slave operation out of his pizza shop. That's fucking insane.
You don't think that that's an actual thing?
I think it could be.
Well, I mean, I don't think that's the story.
Maybe he's
I don't
not
think
the
that's
maybe
the
he's
story.
fucking the guy that just.
I think
holds fucking
I kind of agree with you. It seemed like it was like it could be something that would happen, but
There
everything
could,
that
there
was
could be
against it,
something
yeah.
there, but it's not. Like people were like, "Oh, this is the whole story."
like there's this.
There's no fucking way that's the story. Is that the fucking pizza parlor is the key in the sex fucking
Yeah.
operation? There's no fucking way.
I mean, maybe
But
that's the
there's-
place
like,
they hold the
there's-
fucking. Maybe that's the place the people hold the fucking meetings at. You know, is the fucking pizza parlor.
And you know what?
Well, they
The
do.
government-
They do. That's one of the things was they have in the past like rented out, like sold, like closed down for special events about like for the DNC and stuff, which is like the number just because it all comes from the Clinton emails. The DNC like rents it out and it's in the Clinton emails, and that's where people think, oh, hey, okay, so there's nothing more to this story because it's all about this pizza shop. But I mean, you're reading out of 30,000 emails or whatever, or 100,000 emails.
Right.
Like, no, there's more to it.
I'd be
There
afraid
has
of
to
reading
be.
their fucking emails, dude. Probably find some news
Oh.
or something like that.
Oh man, dude, if I came across a Hillary Clinton news, I'd probably fucking.
You
choke
have to
myself
fucking
out.
blow yourself up, bro.
I'd lock myself in a room with some Jergens.
Violently masturbate.
I would
Go to
buy-
the system,
I would-
bro.
violently masturbate.
Dylan would jerk off until it became circumcised.
Anyways, yeah. I don't know, dude.
No,
That
but-
pizzeria is crazy.
But okay, so the owner of the pizzeria, literally owner of a pizza shop, is ranked in GQ's top 40 most powerful people in Washington D.C.
Damn.
And that's like another thing that doesn't make sense in the whole like thing. Like there's like it's not.
I mean,
I
LeBron
think-
knows a school now.
Well, yeah, but he's not. He's not in GQ's top 100 or top 40 most powerful people in Washington.
Yeah.
So the owner of this pizzeria, huh?
Well, he's on the list, and like there's like on the walls inside the pizza shop there were like pictures of are like paintings of the sacrifice of children and the deflowering of children, like hanging up. And it's still to this day on his Instagram account. And
badass motherfucker.
he's fucking like, I mean,
That's creepy.
what I've talked about it multiple times, man. Like, what's the best way to fucking hide something? Put it right in front of your goddamn face, dude.
So you think it has? You think it has something to do with it, or you think it doesn't have anything to do with
I think he might be involved, but I don't think he's the fucking kingpin of the whole fucking operation,
No,
which is what
God,
Pizzagate
no.
is. No, there's no fucking way.
No, that's
And
there's no.
but there's
way.
like a trans person on a stage you can watch the video. Someone recorded it. A trans person at Comet Ping Pong singing about like the sacrifice and deflowering of children, like live on stage in between songs. Like really creepy. It's fucking creepy as shit. And it's like the person's talking like they're getting off on it. And that's
Wait,
another-
hold on.
that's another
She's up
fucking
on
thing.
stage. She's talking up on stage, talking about it.
Yeah, it's
on
like a dude in
stage.
drag talking about it on stage and like talking like you know, like if you were having phone sex with someone, that's the voice that the trans person's using, or the drag person's using.
I'm not gonna lie, guys. I'm getting a little turned on right now.
That's just another one of them, man. And I mean, the company's logo is a recorded FBI like symbol for pedophilic association. Like the FBI has like code and stuff that they've used to like find out pedo shit online and stuff. And one of the symbols that they use for their logo is one of the symbols for pedophilia.
Really?
In the FBI database, yeah.
Yeah.
And so like it's all these things like led to it. And I mean like John Podesta and Tony Podesta, who are like Hillary Clinton's was it her staffer or campaign manager?
Yeah.
And his brother are really close friends with the owner of the Comet Ping Pong Pizza Parlor, and they have like the same art hanging up in their homes, like
That's
not
weird.
the same, but like really
kids-
similar,
Yeah.
like kids getting fucked and stuff like that, like mutilated bodies.
Okay, how
and
much?
shit.
Okay, now I need to ask you because how much of these you say you got artwork of these kids getting fucked and shit like that, like how, like I mean this just feels really weird going into, but like I mean like if they have pictures of like how actually like rated M is it?
Dude,
Like,
it's
is it-
literally like there's like a video of him on like TLC or some shit showing his home, like showing off his art collection.
Was that MTV Cribs?
No, it's like it was like TLC or
I'm
some
saying
shit
like
like
I would
that.
say like are these kids like blatantly like these kids in these pictures are getting fucking
Like,
raped?
right.
No,
the
it's
asshole.
not. It's like it's
It's like
weird.
you're
You have
getting
to look at
You
it.
have to
Like, you have to-
Fondled.
No, it's not interpreting. You know what it is when you look at it, but it's not like a dick going into a kid. It's like a kid sitting in the corner crying with a bunch of like painted red adults standing around him and stuff, like sitting in the fetal position in the corner, shit like that, and like sculptures of like a smaller human wrapped around like full-grown human, but they're only touching in the genitals and stuff.
Oh,
So like,
that's
their genitals
just
are holding them together.
that's just rapey.
And that's like one of them.
That's just
I can't
rapey.
remember if it's John Podesta or Tony
So
Podesta's, but
rapey.
when they like viewed their homes, like showed off their art collections, that was like a chandelier that they had.
Weirdo, dude.
It's fucking crazy.
What a bunch of shady fucks. What
And
a bunch
then
of weird
and then
fucking,
get this, the guy
fucking goddamn cucks, dude.
the guy that shot up Comet Ping Pong after all this shit, he has a IMDb page. And you know what? If you look up what prison he went to, you don't really find anything. You don't know where the fuck this guy went.
What?
Yeah.
Hold on. So this guy.
This guy walked in the ping
should
pong
go-
shop,
This guy walks into the ping pong shop. This pizzeria, Pizzagate.
fires 3 shots out of an AR-15, turns himself into the police. Nothing ever again about him.
But he has an IMDb page.
Yeah,
like where?
IMDb page.
For what?
He was a legitimate actor. that's on IMDb.
Like, do we know any of his movies? Do we know?
Oh, he was a
there's-
fucking practice actor.
There,
bro.
no. He was actually like in movies and shit. Too.
Really?
Yeah, he was like he played like shit like Inmate 5 and shit like that.
Oh,
But he was like,
shit.
he was literally has an IMDb page.
Interesting.
Wow.
I should have wrote down his name. I don't know why I fucking didn't.
I feel like he's a turd.
I feel like he's smart. He's like, man, wouldn't it be really good for my career if I help these guys out, go shoot 3 gunshots, and then disappear?
Well, and then
So what happens if
and
he
then-
He didn't disappear. He fucking turned himself in.
He turned himself in, but like then dude, what the fuck?
That's
so
fucking jail
weird.
time.
I mean, are you like you're talking? If I'm gonna go into a pizza parlor and fire shots, I'm taking the fucking owner hostage and figuring out what the fuck happened is like going on. Because there's like, if you look at his, I don't know if all of it's on there anymore, but he was posting some fucked up shit.
Some fucked up shit as
like,
what? He's
like,
there
like
posting
he
shit
got
on what?
a new walk-in cooler in his basement and was like talking about how many kids could have a slumber party there, and it literally his Instagram caption was the inside of it, and it was like something about how many kids could sleep in it, and shit like that. Like literally every
That's
post,
fucking
was like
weird,
that.
dude.
every single fucking post.
His ass nigga, right?
Yeah, he's talking about kids taking naps in his freezer. I'll go take a nap in this freezer. Fuck. Probably could fit 4 of me. You know what I'm saying?
Well, then you're talking DC, an old fucking town. Like there's tunnels underneath fucking buildings and shit. We have them in Waterloo. Like there's ways to get into the storm sewer from inside your building in Waterloo.
Yeah.
In downtown Waterloo. Like it's
Oh
and like I mean fuck. Like
I
we
mean,
were
it-
talking DC, which is fucking what 150 years older than Waterloo.
yeah. Oh hell yeah. Fucking when I was in Georgia, dude, they had tunnels that were down there and shit like that. And, like a lot of them were blocked off because like they were used for like dumping bodies when like yellow fever was a thing.
Dude, how is this is crazy, man? That pizza place is a fucking bunch of pedos.
Well, and
Whole
guess
bunch of
guess what's supposedly this is like one of the Pizzagate theories is because right up the street, when we're talking about underground tunnels in DC, right up the street is the headquarters for the Muslim Brotherhood, which is ran by Hillary Clinton, Huma Abedin, Hillary Clinton's chief aide. Her mother runs the Muslim Brotherhood. Her mother and brother run the Muslim Brotherhood.
Hillary Clinton's mother.
No,
and
Hillary
brother.
Clinton's aide, Huma Abedin's mother and brother run the Muslim Brotherhood. And so they're like, oh, well, you know what? You got all this grooming shit going on in Europe. Like, and so that, it's just like a chain of like things that kind of make sense that
Right.
under the circumstance of the emails fucking blew
It's
up.
gonna
And
connect
it was reported on, which is crazy because they don't want you to look at what the fucking real shit was, which was the pedogate shit. But the shooter of Comet Ping Pong, his dad had ties to the government, which brings me to another thing, which is MK Ultra. which-
mind control thing.
Yeah, the government
Wait, so
government sanctioned
wait,
mind control.
hold on. Did you just say the shooter?
Yeah, the shooter of Comet Ping Pong that was an actor that has an IMDb page. His father was linked to the government,
What?
which a lot of
Wait, the government with the MK Ultra?
No, but that's one of the things that brings like a lot of people that are supposedly because why did he turn himself in with a fully loaded AR-15
Right.
in downtown DC? Like, why if he was that crazy and that mad, why did he turn himself in? This is something that happens with every single one of these mass shooters that are on my list that are supposed
So-
MK Ultra patients.
So MK Ultra, real quick, and I'm sure these guys will have something to add into it. MK Ultra is studies done back in who the fuck knows. You guys probably
and still today.
like mind control, and that's what they're saying is that there was like programs that were like being done, like these like programs that eventually got shut down that said everything was shut down in like the 70s or something, that they stopped doing the mind control shit. And it's like, no they fucking didn't.
No.
You
Yeah,
fucking
they're still doing that shit.
you fucking liar. You fucking liars.
When does
You
the government ever stop doing something that actually
Yeah.
worked?
Right though.
Isn't that the shittiest
Seriously,
way to
they
put it?
do it.
No.
Something that actually worked. Like,
No, I mean, fucking, they keep shit that doesn't work going for fucking ever. Why would they shut down something that works?
Yeah.
Which, okay, so these are other mass shooters that were, either claiming to be MK Ultra or showed signs of MK Ultra related to the guy turning himself in from Comet Ping Pong, is Esteban Santiago, the Fort Lauderdale airport, told everyone that he had secret channels from the FBI in his ear telling him to shoot up this Fort Lauderdale airport. We got James Holmes, Aurora, Colorado, whose dad was about to turn state evidence regarding the the LIBOR bank scandals, and he worked for Lockheed Martin, which is basically what finances our fucking government. What's the best way to fucking make his testimony not mean shit against the scandal is make his family name mean fucking dirt because he just shot up a fucking. And you look at the footage of him getting arrested in the helicopter, you're just leaning up against his fucking Cutlass Supreme, waiting for the cops to come pick him up. Same thing that happened in the last two. You got Dylan Roof in South Carolina, the guy who shot up the black church and started basically Black Lives Matter.
Yeah.
You got the John Bonet Ramsey case where the pageant girl. It was like this little pageant girl. She was violently murdered. Her father also worked for Lockheed Martin, and her autopsy showed her that she had been sexually active for years, and she died at 9 years old.
Damn.
And there were a bunch of other government types that would always come to their house and shit. They get fucking MK Ultra goes fucking deep as shit.
Man, people,
And you know what it always revolves, like literally a lot of it revolves around is fucking kid shit.
yeah,
Them doing
trying to fucking
tests on kids and stuff.
Yeah.
like,
There's
more or less having sex with them.
There's a CIA document that said that they were sexually abusing kids that were hospitalized in the fucking 70s. Like, it's fucking insane.
Yeah, man. It's weird what, like, the government will do to fucking try to fucking, learn about fucking humans.
Well, it's okay, for those that don't know, MK Ultra is the CIA mind control program. And they were doing illegal experiments on humans by the US's CIA. Like, they were doing it forever. Like,
Oh, yeah. They've been doing it before the CIA has been a thing.
yeah,
I mean,
they were doing it in the fucking 50s and the
Yeah.
40s, the late
Yeah.
40s.
yeah,
Was it 48?
what was it?
When OSS,
OSS, yeah.
when they were threatening the Nazi families, I've always heard of it called. I didn't know it was called Project Paperclip,
Yep, but
but I always heard of it as the Nazi draft.
I see. I've never heard of it as see, it was like Project fucking Overcast before they turned it into fucking Paperclip. I've never heard of it, the fucking draft.
Well, is the fantasy draft of if the Nazis that weren't picked or kidnapped with their fucking children having guns to their heads and dicks in their asses, it was the other ones.
What?
The other ones got tried and executed, like the Nuremberg trials, man. Like, those are the Nazis that weren't picked.
You either wanted to fucking work for us or you fucking got killed.
Give me a quick fill-in. What do you guys talk about? Because I
Operation
walked in on AJ
Paperclip.
talking about.
Dicks and asses.
Yeah.
That's not abnormal. But no, we're talking about Operation Paperclip, which I refer to as the Nazi draft, where the U.S. government and Russia, after World War II, picked scientists from the Nazi Party.
So they
and
wanted
they-
to come over.
They wanted to come over. The rest of them were tried in the Nuremberg trials and executed.
The rest of them were.
Well, the ones that didn't make it to South America were. But that's another one, dude. There's so much shit.
Oh yeah.
We need to just all get together some night and watch the documentary Chasing Hitler before we do that one.
Chasing Hitler.
Or Hunting Hitler.
I said we hunt Hillary.
Yeah, Hunt Hillary for sure.
There it is.
But yeah, so basically all our like advanced government programs like NASA and the DMV and
Anything like that, man.
fucking invented by Nazis.
Oh, all of that shit, man. Nazis had such fucking good scientists.
Well, look at our cars before then.
Yeah.
They had the Porsche back then, Mercedes Benz. What do we have? The fucking Ford pickup truck and the Chrysler
Yeah.
pickup truck.
They had fucking V-dubs, bro. That's the
It's fucking crazy, man. Yeah, dude, the Nazis built shit.
And that's why we wanted them, because they knew how to fucking go into
But that's where
hypnosis and fucking trick people into doing shit.
that's kind of where the idea of MK Ultra started.
Yeah.
Was because they were like, oh, hey, if we can use the children of Nazis to get them to join our ranks, what other ways can we manipulate people to do our bidding for us?
Yeah, I mean, if
You
you
know?
if you go to somebody's house and fucking take their kids, you know, you're gonna fucking do whatever the fuck they want to get your
Oh,
kids.
yeah.
Yeah.
I mean, that's more important than
Guaranteed.
fucking.
That's humanity. You know?
Exactly. But it's still fucking, you know, human trafficking almost, you know. Tying it all in. They're fucking stealing people's kids to fucking put them against each other.
It's just crazy how they can brainwash, you know, like how they've had, like, how it's obviously brainwashing is the thing you can do to, you know, people in seconds and think about how much control that they have. Like, that's what I'm saying, is a hypnotist can do it right in front of your eyes, and it's like, well, what if you have training over fucking years of, like, it's just so amazing what these fucking elites can do to shape the country however they want.
Yeah.
So what do you think? You know, they got them big old grandfather clocks that you know stick back and forth, You know, is that hypnotizing you?
I mean, that was
No,
always in
that's
cartoons and shit like that.
that's a counterweight to make the cogs true.
Okay, but like,
But like, I mean, you
That's-
see,
that's-
but
that's the
is
mechanic
time
of it.
is time actually relative?
you see
Oh,
people
man,
do
that's
that,
a whole
but
other
the way that it moves and shit, that's how hypnotists get you, because they need you to focus on an object. So I mean,
Well, yeah, but the grandfather clock pendulum is to make the cogs true.
Yeah, but
yeah.
well, like I'm saying though,
Because it uses the momentum of the pendulum to turn the cog, and then the cog turning gives it more momentum, so it turns the next cog and it goes forward and forward and forward. You know. But okay, so the experiments by MK Ultra were intended to develop drugs for interrogations in order to weaken the subject's mind and even led to mind control. Like this MK Ultra is they hired why didn't I write down his name? They hired a scientist who MK Ultra is why we have LSD.
No, we have LSD because
The scientist was hired by the MK Ultra people to develop LSD.
oh, dude, you're right.
I think it is,
And
yeah, because that's one of the
well,
drugs. That's one of the
kinda.
drugs they were using when they
Kinda,
were
well, they
when they
found
were trying
LSD.
to.
They found
brainwash
LSD
these
before
kids,
it though.
Yeah, and then they brought the scientists on to work for them, and
Well,
they
maybe
gave
they
them a government
found
lab
it
to
before,
develop it.
but I mean,
They say like
No, it wasn't a scientist that found it though.
no, it was a scientist that like mass because this is what the scientist comes into is the there's one scientist that's credited for 15% of the LSD that's out there right now was made in the 1970s because he was given government sanctions to literally just manufacture for their experiments.
Right, but
So he didn't find
he
it.
didn't
He's-
find it
no,
though.
he didn't find it.
It was a village, dude. A village. It's an ergot from fucking from rye bread, dude.
And Ergot, I fucking hate going against Ergot,
Fuck
dude.
Ergot.
It's fucking tanky as fuck, dude. Fuck
Tanky
him.
as hell.
His alt is
But no,
Yeah,
it's like
what the
fucking.
fuck, Ergot? You
It's like mold from rye bread, dude. That's how they found it. Like a whole village one day, fucking like
mole from rye bread?
mold.
Yeah, mold.
Yeah. He fucking this whole village ate this fucking rye bread or whatever, dude, and fucking tripped the fuck out for like a couple days, dude. And yeah,
But there's a scientist that they call him the father of LSD. And I can't remember what the
Grandfather.
fucking I can't remember what the
Dylan
fuck his name
DeGroe.
was.
That's his name.
No, just no.
Dylan DeGroe.
Just no.
I'll feed you LSD when you need it, when you want it, for cheap prices, guaranteed.
I hid my LSD under my ball sack and I started running. I started tripping. I don't know why. But
the
not a bad
Timothy Leary
idea.
guy.
is it Timothy Leary?
Yeah.
Yeah, he worked for the CIA developing like weapons grade LSD. That's where like you
Yeah.
hear it in the movies.
Weapons
Where
grade
they talk about
LSD.
weapon grade LSD. Whereas like that's where the dab, like the tab comes from. Is from like he puts the LSD on a tab, you put it on your tongue, you fucking lose your mind.
Yeah.
That's what weaponized LSD was.
They like didn't they put it in like the water and shit like that?
They would unknowingly give it to the people that they were experimenting with. Like the people did not know what the fuck.
Yeah.
That's why a lot of the findings from the program was deemed by Congress like unfactual or whatever, like unadmissible.
When I think LSD, it makes me think of men who stare at goats, and I can just
Yeah.
walk through walls. When
That's one of the movies that I have on my list of like that talk about MK Ultra, man.
dude.
But the thing that we want to talk about is how they were taking Canadian and U.S. citizens that were in hospitals that were fucking kids and sexually assaulting them
Like,
to try to break them. Like, have you seen
Right.
the previews for the movie Red Sparrow with fucking Jennifer Lawrence? That's just the KGB version of fucking MK Ultra, where she was raped as a kid to become a fucking spy that sleeps with a guy and then kills him while the guy's fucking after sex having a cigarette. You know,
yeah.
that's what it is.
That shit's. I mean, that's just crazy, and like, I mean, it's not like
Like, are you going to piss? You should take this and dump it in the toilet.
Nasty.
we man, we fucking talk about like this kind of shit like mind control, and it's something as like people that you have so many people like let's say like a hypnotist, right?
Yeah.
Hypnotist comes to something. How many people in that audience are super just like I don't believe it. You couldn't hypnotize me. You could do it to these people. Like, how many people in America and in the whole world are like just turned a blind eye to realize how powerful a tactic
Well,
like
the
that
thing
is?
with hypnotism is you have to be willing to be hypnotized to be
Yeah.
hypnotized.
Well, but I mean, there's not just you don't have to be just willing. You can be in the right state of mind.
Well,
If you're in the right
you
state
have to
of
feel
mind,
susceptible to it.
yeah,
Not,
yeah,
not like
yeah.
not like you're like you don't have to volunteer to it, but you have to be feel
Yeah.
susceptible to it.
So it's like, but just how easy that shit is, and how powerful of a tool it is.
Well,
you
think
know?
of how many fucking people just go work a fucking 9 to 5 that they fucking hate. I just stopped doing that. Like, and hypnotism. We think about it as like you're not aware of what's going on. But
you're-
like you feel like you
it's-
have to do a certain thing. and you
Hypnotism
fucking
is-
don't.
Hypnotism is what is it? Hypnotism is literally defined as the power of suggestion.
Yeah.
You know, it's not because you're literally being tricked. It's being suggested things while you're in a deep state, and it's just powerful as fuck. You know, these guys can do that to anyone. Like they can fucking do it to anyone, but they can do it to kids. I mean, when they do it to them while they're in pain and hurt and stuff like that, I don't know how that works.
That was just one of their methods, man. Like it wasn't like they were like,
Yeah,
hypnotizing everyone.
That's that.
Some of them they were just seeing.
They just wanted to see what happened.
They were seeing what happens to a kid's state of like literally. It's in like the CIA's like release. I don't know if it was Trump that released it or who it was, but a president unclassified or declassified documents from the CIA MK Ultra, and they literally in the log notes were talking about what happens if you literally just rape a kid for months, or like not for months, but like once or twice a month for fucking years. Like what happens to that person's mind? So those are the experiments that they were running. It's fucking crazy.
Dude. Yeah, it's not right, and it's never gonna fucking
It's
stop.
That's not the liquid. But no, I mean like
Best thing I've ever done.
I was just like you know like the hypnotized thing was like that's one of the things like force feeding people LSD and shit.
Yeah, dude. I don't know what you guys are talking about right now.
Dude,
There's
Well,
all the
yeah.
different kind of experiments that the MK Ultra did.
Think about
Well, I don't know if
the
it's
kid.
MK Ultra,
Oh
but
my
like,
god, LSD. If you did not know LSD was coming, not that I've done it, I've done it.
I've done it.
But like, I mean, to be unknowingly like just sitting there, just fucking, you're just chilling out. You know, you're having a good time, and all of a sudden, the walls start moving on you. Everything's so fucking funny, dude. Fuck a bad trip. That doesn't exist.
Disagree.
Okay, never mind. I want to take that back.
You
Because
can go
you
in the
can
hole,
be tripping
bro.
on LSD while
It's
being
called
with
a hole.
one of
You don't
these
even have to be
doctor
on
guys.
LSD, dude.
Dude.
But I mean, like,
Go to Walmart when you take mushrooms. You'll have a fucking bad time.
I would not have a
Right.
bad time. Y'all
Too
are
bright.
if you can't have a good time at Walmart on mushrooms, I don't even want to be friends with you.
Hey, so like,
Wait till
okay.
you go to the toy section, man. It's fucking.
Yeah, the door of
Are
the
you gonna
store
leave the
tripped me
shit,
out.
dude? I'm gonna fucking go to the fucking sports section. You're about to have some lane hockey going on. You know what I'm saying, bruv? About to go crush some Sandies, dude.
Hey, so another experiment that I saw, dude, is fucking this scientist was giving dolphins LSD, and he would give the dolphins this LSD and this random guy LSD at the same time, and bring this guy in and see these dolphins.
You'd fuck 'em.
Instant connection. No, they wouldn't fuck. But like instant connection between these two fucking species.
Why did you say they wouldn't fuck with such disappointment? I saw the
No, they didn't.
disappointment in his
They didn't
voice.
fuck.
Okay.
It just happened, you know.
I get
They
it.
weren't
I
compatible.
get it.
Maybe if it was a different dolphin.
So
you
they
know.
have this connection, huh?
Yeah,
The
dude.
boy dolphin and the experiment
Yeah.
drug user.
So what happens, kids, is when
Like LSD, what if
when an LSD'd up man and an
You can't explain
LSD'd
it to
up
kids with
dolphin
this episode.
love each other very much, but even more so because they're on LSD.
But what if LSD were to fucking bring life together?
Yeah, I mean, they say the best way to open your mind is with psychotropic drugs, man.
What
Because-
if we were all to do psychotropic drugs and all had like a hive mind?
Why
That would
we
be
should
fucking terrifying.
let some fucking crazy bitch fucking run the show, and we'll all
Oh,
be
yeah,
Fucking
episode
Hillary
of Rick-
Clinton.
that episode of Rick and Morty. Where-
Yeah.
this is my ex-girlfriend hive mind.
This girl takes control of the whole world. She's everyone who's in the world. And Rick dated her and probably got more holes filled
Than a
than
golf
a
course.
100-year-old street.
Than a golf course. During
I mean, if you think about it, you could fuck anybody on that planet. Because it would all be
It'd be
her.
the same
It would all
person.
be consensual.
Yeah, but then okay, what about the kids, dude? Still her.
So,
Still her. Or him.
That was a weird way to bring it back.
Yeah, I mean, you just
I was trying. I mean,
You gotta-
it does not fit with the topic.
just
that-
gotta wait till they're 18.
Does it not fit in the topic that we're
Yeah.
violating a boy's soul?
Oh, you finished Rolto.
Exactly. The
But,
fact is, like,
so, MK Ultra was sanctioned by the U.S. government in 1963, and it was reduced in 1953, and it was reduced for experiments, reduced, air quotes, in 1964. Further reduced in funding and experiments in 1967, and was officially, quote unquote, ended in 73. But you still have people saying that as kids, they, like, especially people whose parents were in government, like,
Yeah.
they'll come out and say, like, yeah, this, like, had some mind control shit going on my whole life, you know, like, this fucked up.
well, because like when you have mind control, like it's not really like I think another, thing we think about is when we think of mind control, like they're not gonna be able to remember what happened. But when you're trying to control someone's mind, like you can't even come close to making them forget about everything. Like
No.
it literally is a part of your brain just as much as
And
they're
you know-
trying to add
and you-
something
yeah.
new to your brain.
Right. You
And
know
what
what
they-
They call it what is it? It's substance learning, where like if you take Adderall and study, the only way you're going to
Oh, I
retain
love
all that,
that.
the only time you're going to retain all that information, if you take Adderall again, you'll remember more shit than you would if you weren't on Adderall
I
again.
thought that was marijuana.
Well, it's the same thing.
Yeah.
Same
So
thing with
yeah.
drinking. Like it's the controlled memory or whatever. And so you're fucking doing all this shit to these people. The more likely scenario that they're gonna remember is a similar scenario that they're in.
Yeah.
And that's where they come up with the idea of sleeper cells.
Yep.
Like, have you ever heard of the TV show The Americans?
Yeah.
It's like a bunch of Russian people that come like supercell agents in America. Like that's an MK Ultra related show. Like it's just from the Rusk
Fucking
era.
the movie
it's-
American Ultra.
It's
Yeah.
crazy that how fucking like when we do one thing as a government and we call one thing, but when another government does the exact same thing, it's fucking crazy this and that.
Woof! TT's ass looks good right now.
Damn.
Hey boy,
Can I get you
you
on
tie
over?
them boots.
Can I get you on over?
That's gonna cost you, bro.
Can I have it?
Can I have it?
Hey, that's gonna cost you money right there. That's my that's my bottom bitch.
That's
my-
that's my best
And my
bitch.
sexual appeal case.
That's my best bitch.
So the experiments took place in government facilities, universities, hospitals, prisons, and pharma companies. That's what we know that it took place in. And that's where the CIA document where they were sexually abusing children in the sick ward
Yeah.
in hospitals to see what the fuck, literally just to see what it would do to a kid's fucking psyche if you repeatedly sexually assaulted them.
I can tell you what it'll do. If they ended up
Fucks them up.
after it ended up.
Fuck.
That's
Alright.
it.
Well, the experiments were first brought up publicly by President Ford's investigation of the CIA's activities that took place inside the United States border, which they have no jurisdiction in the United States. The CIA does not.
Yeah. Civilian run.
Knock on wood.
Well, a lot of people, people that consider themselves conspiracy theorists, are always like, yo, I need to make sure that I'm fucking happy, don't want to kill myself just in case I wind up fucking with a tie tied around my neck too tight. And it's like, no, dude, fucking conspiracy theorist is like putting a bubble around yourself because no one fucking takes you seriously enough. Unless they have an open mind, which then that person themselves that's listening to you is not taken seriously at all. Like we talked about,
I mean, there are some people though, man, that like have gotten fucking deep into shit and have gotten fucking killed.
Well, yeah, I mean, we talked about
But, like-
last week, like with Anthony Bourdain,
Yeah.
like all the shit that's like kind of coming up with him, like all those theories that are going around it. He wasn't a conspiracy theorist. He was just a guy out there saying, "Yo, Hillary Clinton and fucking Harvey Weinstein are fucking kids,"
Yeah.
and then ended up dead a week later. Or
What
4
was
days
that?
later.
What was that fucking other girl? That one girl for Hillary Clinton, that Monica Peterson or something like that. That you didn't hear about?
No,
the,
I don't know.
The fucking the girl that was fucking. She was like a intern for fucking human trafficking fucking place.
Oh, Laura Silsby.
No, she was investigating Laura Silsby.
Oh, no shit.
Yeah, well, that's what they think she was doing because she got killed in Haiti, like, a couple years ago or whatever. And they were saying she was investigating some fucking human trafficking thing down there or whatever. And it was Laura. I'm thinking it was Laura Silsby trying to connect some dots here, because Laura Silsby was the girl that fucking took like
She got
the couple of.
charged for
Yeah.
trafficking 33
Right,
kids
right,
across
right.
the border.
And yeah, so I think this girl was down there, investigating her and fucking found out kind of about what the fucking Hillary Foundation was about. Which I think the Hillary Foundation is about fucking kids, man. Fucking
Well,
little kids.
there's like a thing. It was like the Clinton Foundation raised like $10 million for
Billion, dude.
for Haiti
Yeah.
relief. Well, they only gave 1% of it
Exactly.
to relief to Haiti. It's just a fucking money
Yeah,
scheme, man.
and fucking that's what the Haiti fucking.
Well, if you look,
Prime Minister
look
was
what
like,
happened. The Clinton Foundation was like receiving its most donations ever. Like it was at its peak when she was running for president.
From Saudi
And then
Arabia.
literally the fucking minute her election campaign was ended, her company almost went
Yeah.
bankrupt.
Well, she was fucking getting all these fucking donations from fucking Saudi Arabia trying to get her to be president.
Oh no, but that was Bill Clinton going to speak in Saudi Arabia.
Oh,
Same
yeah.
thing,
Oh,
getting,
yeah.
Getting paid $50 million per speech.
Oh yeah,
doing
that's
3 or 4
exactly
a
what
week.
it was.
They're all
That's
bunch
what,
of
that's what it says on paper, Michael.
I'm sorry.
child molesters.
Well, they are.
Bill
Bill Clinton,
If you think about it,
Bill Clinton's a cup.
No,
no way, dude.
Yeah,
Hillary's
he's
the
a
cup,
fucking
Joe.
it's the other. No, it's the other
Hillary
way around.
is the
Hillary's
cup.
the
You
cup.
think? Okay,
No.
Hillary.
Literally, Bill Clinton was accused of finger banging a girl in the Oval Office, sitting on the president's desk with a fucking Cuban cigar.
Yeah.
Hillary's the cup. He had 7 sex scandals when he was the president.
Hillary wanted that shit to happen.
Think there's ever a kid in life that just says, I want to become the president so I can have more sex scandals than any president out there. I'm going to get married, 4 different girls, I'm going to fuck.
100 million?
We were talking about Trump. He's doing really bad on having the most sex scandals. Bill Clinton had like 4 within his first term in office.
Yeah. Donald Trump needs to step his game up.
Donald Trump does not. He's got this foreign ass bitch. Donald Trump probably goes home and just smiles. He's like, I don't care what happens. I have got this hot ass honey.
Yeah, but they look like they hate each other, dude.
No, you know, if you like, you've ever met a Russian person before that's like direct off the boat from
They
Russia?
always they just
You
have
would know,
that
they just
fucking
look
bitch
fucking-
face. Bitch
Yeah.
face.
You know, and how can you have that conversation? You'd be like, he'd come home like, you know, honey, I was at the golf course today and I hit shots better than anyone else out there, and she's just, you know, she's just gonna be sitting there like, good for you, honey.
And then under her breath,
Good for you. I'm so happy for you.
under her breath, she says, "That don't talk you to Fuck him, he was fucking crazy.
Okay, just because you know Russian, but I know what she's really thinking.
She's really thinking like,
She's like, why you went to the golf course? I fucked the pool boy, but you know that because I took a video of it, you fucking cock.
No, man.
You
Like,
fucking cock.
I think Melania is the hottest.
I think she's
The hottest first lady. Second's Jackie Kennedy.
okay.
third-
So
I like Jackie
Third-
Kennedy
third-
more because
third is
Jackie
none.
Kennedy
I think
Jackie, yeah, none is a good answer. Jackie Kennedy just has that class I like. I like
Jackie
the class.
Kennedy. You talk about swingers, dude. Famous swingers. Jackie Kennedy and fucking JFK were fucking swingers.
yeah. But I think fucking she's a spy, dude. Fucking Trump's wife.
Trump's wife. You think she's a spy?
Not like a bad.
Not
spy.
against
Yeah.
Trump,
Not
but with
against
Trump.
but with Trump.
Trump.
Yeah.
Like she's been.
She's Trump's.
I think
fucking-
she's becoming a spy. She's becoming the Red Spurs. She's becoming Jennifer Lawrence.
Yes.
She's like, I want to be Jennifer Lawrence. Trump, give me some fucking things to
Yeah,
go
exactly.
spy on right
That
now,
would-
or I'm gonna fucking ruin
Yeah,
you.
kind of, but like, I think, dude, she's
Pretty
fucking,
much.
she's the end, bro.
Yeah. Well, do you think she might be a sleeper agent?
No,
What is she?
No,
What is
bro.
she? Is she?
She's awake,
She's
bro.
like Hungarian or something.
She's like one
She's
of those
hungry
countries. Like, okay,
for
so
my
here's
dick.
Russia. Here's Russia right here. She's like one of these countries that are like right here next to it. You know what I mean?
Yeah.
One of those
Is she?
like 3.
Or is she Eastern European?
Nah, dude.
How many of Trump's children are from her?
One. Baron Trump.
Baron.
That's what he banged that Stormy Daniels chick was when she was pregnant with Baron.
The Adventures of Baron Trump.
Which one is? I can't remember. What about Baron Trump?
He's the youngest one.
Yeah.
How old?
He's a time traveler, dude.
It's like 11.
Is that the story about the time
Yeah,
traveler?
yeah,
that's
dude.
fucking. Yeah, I heard something about that. It's fucking
Yeah, it's
weird.
from Michael. Like,
Yeah,
what, 2
I'm
weeks
about,
ago.
to, I'm about to grab that book here soon. I'm gonna fucking read it up.
Yo,
If you want, you can use my Amazon. Amazon Prime, dude. So I'm getting the new podcast equipment tomorrow.
Do they ship in drums? Is that a thing?
wait,
I wish, so they could
tomorrow,
just
oh
put it
my
on
god,
my
tomorrow's
porch.
Thursday. Holy shit! You literally texted me today. I thought it was Monday or Tuesday today. Guys, I'm fucking sorry, boys.
Or it's Podcast Wednesday, dog.
Podcast win.
We're about to have the sickest setup y'all motherfuckers ever seen.
Yeah,
Talking
man.
about fucking pedophiles and guys
So,
working at Chuck E.
so-
Cheese's and creepy masks
Yeah,
and
Chuck E.
shit like that.
Just
Hey, bro.
just wait. Once my roommate moves out, I enter his bedroom in the studio. We're about to have a illness set up.
We're gonna have so many sessions together looking at porn.
Sessions.
Like, no one's gonna come in our studio. We can look at whatever we want. And we can say that proudly because at least we're not doing it with real people.
And we're all over the age of 24.
Yeah. I'm like 39.
Ish.
So if any,
Dylan's like 24 and a half.
Yeah. Rats.
But,
I'll get there.
okay, so, back to, like, this MK Ultra shit. Like, we joked about Red Sparrow, like, Melania being the Red Sparrow. Like, do you guys think that she might be, like, a sleeper cell kind of shit?
Maybe not a sleeper cell, but I think she definitely has
I
some
don't-
shit to do with it.
I don't think
she's definitely fucking got something to do with it, dude.
But I mean, how do we know? Because she's been with Trump. Do we know? Like, does anyone know? Either of you guys know how long Melania Trump has been, or
No.
Melania?
Melania.
Melania.
At least 11 years, because Barron's about to turn 12, or at least 13
Yeah.
years.
So I
because
mean,
I'm
like
about to
they've
turn
been together for a long time before he was ever even like involved.
Yeah,
and
but-
he could have been from.
If he is a fucking time traveler, though, man, like,
But,
I don't know
like-
what to do.
But it doesn't matter when we fucking talk about women, Russians, German, or whatever wanting
Are we,
green
are
cards
we,
and
are we
shit like
talking,
that.
talking time travel like the Batman theory, where Batman's the Joker, because he has to go back in time and kill his parents so that he can save all the people of Gotham? And so Barron Trump is really Donald Trump from the future?
No, because fucking Baron.
So
Because they
Batman
refer
comes
to him
back
as Dom.
as the
That's the
Joker.
theory, that's the theory.
Is that
yeah.
Batman comes back as the Joker?
Well, he comes back and he kills his parents in the alley and becomes a Joker because the fact that he has to be Batman, he has to kill his parents to become Batman to save Gotham.
Is that wow?
Boom.
Wow, I'm about to pee my pants. Not because of that, but I'm just about to pee my pants. But that is a crazy revelation.
I've never heard that one.
I never heard that one
It's
either.
like the best Joker theory because no one ever knows who the Joker is.
So how do we know how horrible and shitty things are that people are like I mean, like there's so many shitty things in this world, like sex rings and stuff like that. Like, what are these people doing that they have to understand that the world has to go a certain way? You can't be completely selfish. Like, at some point, that it's gonna hit. Like, we're already. I feel like at times, like this Earth is getting in dangerous places with like the way that the economy and everything is. Like how are these people gonna worry about stuff like trying to fuck kids? Like, what goes? Like, how can that go in your mind that that's what you're gonna do?
The
It's
theory is
tradition.
they feel like they get power from it.
Yeah.
It's blood
Tradition.
magic.
It's
no,
fucking
it's blood magic.
Regardless, it's tradition. It's the way things have always been, so they do this
Yeah.
way. They're not going to be able to. That's why our world is the way
You
it
could say,
stays instead
you
of
could
changing.
say it doesn't happen, but if you're a fucking kid and it happened, no. Like, how do you know? It doesn't
AJ
happen?
has.
Whoa, whoa, bro.
That is
I-
not true.
I didn't. I'm just the messenger. Don't shoot the messenger.
That's
Oh,
fucked
shoot,
up.
messenger.
That's throwing him underneath the bus. But no, you
Look
can't.
at it, that part.
I did not think that was gonna happen. But alright.
No, but I totally get what you're saying. Like, it's
Like, how do you
it's-
know this shit's not
It's,
working?
it's fucking. It's
The Aztecs did it. A lot of different fucking cultures have fucking sacrificed people. Like, how do you know it's not gonna work?
It's not even sacrifice. I mean, I was gonna say, like, people have been fornicating, like with younger people, forever. But that was also because life expectancy used to be like 33.
Yeah, that's crazy. But life
But-
expectancy, if you look at the Bible, life expectancy in the Bible was like 813.
Yeah. Well, that was like for like prophets and shit. But I mean, you look at Jesus in the Bible. He lived to be an abnormal age. He lived longer than most pilgrims did. And he wandered the desert for fucking 20 years.
Yeah.
Or 10 years or whatever the fuck it was.
He's out there doing fucking like drugs and shit like that.
Dude, it's crazy. Jesus is in the fucking Hindu Bible.
Oh hell yeah, dude.
It's fucking crazy.
It's fucking a lot of this shit's fucking crazy, dude.
It's weird if you look at it, like some of the older shit that he said. Like, one of his first things after he gathered his 12 disciples, one of the first things he says is, you think I've come here to bring you peace, but I have not. I came here to bring you a sword. And that's like my favorite Bible verse ever. Just because it's badass. Like, why wasn't that in Mel Gibson's movie, you know?
It's not this, not bitch.
Mel Gibson's a fucking badass, dude. He's a racist.
The only thing he knows about is Braveheart.
No, dude, Braveheart's badass, too.
Braveheart was a good movie.
Braveheart's great. He's fucking, what is it, John Emsworth, or whatever the fuck his name is. Is that his name in the movie?
Elisa
John
Lampanelli.
Yeah, at least Lamp.
My vagina! Doesn't have a camel's toe. It has an elephant's toe.
Damn.
When they did the roast and Lisa Lampanelli goes, my pussies had more black people than this roast tonight, or some shit like that.
The one of Justin Bieber when they're all black other than her and Martha Stewart.
That's fucking up.
It's like, my pussies have more black people on it than this stage tonight.
Oh yeah, but that wasn't for Justin Bieber.
Was it?
No, that was for Flavor Flav.
Oh,
Yep.
alright. Yeah, that makes sense, because she wasn't.
But I mean, that's surprising. I knew what it was from, and you quoted it 100 times better than I
how
did.
that feel.
I know I'm not smart. I've
Dylan just
accepted
knuckle
it.
slapped the fuck out of the table.
Dude, it actually kind of hurt. So the fact
I saw that happen too. I saw you smash your elbow. I saw you smash your hand. Oh
Dude,
man.
who the fuck is this kid? I'm about to beat his fucking ass.
Okay, so MK Ultra has been made light of its practices by Hollywood for years, which comes back to the best way to fucking hide something is put fucking 4 inches in front of your face.
Right,
And some examples of that are, me and Dylan just watched this the other day, Pineapple Express, and they experimented on Bill Hader with drugs to see what kind of reaction it would get for a human. Mr. Wright bases MK Ultra as the basis around the main character's motive and backstory of the movie. The Killing Room, the Banshee chapter, which is widely based on the MK Ultra program. Jacob's Ladder alluded to MK Ultra throughout the entire movie. The 1997 movie, The Conspiracy Theory, Patrick Stewart plays Dr. Jonas, who claims to be the head of the project of MK Ultra, and Mel Gibson plays a test subject. Dylan said this earlier, but 2015's American Ultra, Jesse Eisenberg, is a stoner slacker who is the sole survivor of the program and is turned into the ultimate assassin.
And his girlfriend was fucking. I don't want to ruin it, but her girlfriend was a part of it the whole time.
She was hot though.
Did y'all see that movie?
She was the fucking trigger, dude.
Yeah, she was hot.
That's the sleeper cell trigger, man.
She didn't trigger him though, did she?
I think she did.
Well, no, it was the lady at the market that triggered him, obviously.
Well, yeah, but she was like his handler.
Yeah, but she loved him though.
Oh,
You don't,
yeah.
they don't love you if they're your handler. Watch Chuck.
Well, but this is American fucking Ultra. Have you seen the greatest love story of all time? I have. I don't know where you were.
What, the Notebook?
The Notebook is for pussies who make.
Okay, The Notebook
They
is a
let their
real
girlfriends-
great documentaries.
No,
Great love stories, okay? The Notebook is amazing.
I know it was amazing. I was there. I was in the documentary.
Touched my soul.
Okay, the biggest one that shows MK Ultra is Jason fucking Bourne.
Yeah, that's a good one, man.
Dude.
Eagle Eye, maybe?
Jesus Christ, it's Jason Bourne. Well, Eagle Eye is
Jesus
more-
Christ, it's
Eagle Eye
Jason
is more
Bourne.
NSA.
Yeah, I guess so. Yeah, Jason Bourne, man, he fucking
He was a sleeper cell, dude.
sleeper stuff for sure.
Dude, turning badass people like mind control like that, you could literally get people to do shit like that. Like we talked about this before with pedophiles in TV, like the rings in the government. How we've seen this on cartoons, but it's more crazy that we've seen so much of that in TV, like movies and shit like that that are being made. Because that's the real crazy part of it. That it's not just like no one's really exposed the ring of pedophiles, like of people banging kids yet. Like it's not
Yeah,
out in the
so-
open yet. But like I mean, like that it's been so widely open in movies and shit like that because that's what people are wanting to watch. Is shit like people getting mind controlled into shit like that. And it's like there's so much truth behind all of that that it's like how fucking easy it is for these governments and everything to control whoever they want.
Oh
Like,
yeah, dude.
To
They've been
control
doing it for years.
whoever
But,
they
like,
want.
if you think about it, this our government is not the first government.
No, fuck no.
No,
Like,
and
this has been
it
going on
won't
for
be
fucking
the
ever,
last.
like-
Well, it will be if our government is strong enough for, like, that's why I'm saying, like, with how much we've researched into mind control, though, how have we not been able, I feel like with the control of being able to mind control, right, you have all the influences in the world, everywhere else, like, and I know you have to have people that are susceptible, but how do we not have more control
Listen to
over
this,
the
dude,
world?
like,
Or
all
do
this-
we have more
Dude,
control
like,
over
all
the
these
world?
fucking kids that right now, dude, media is fucking pushing all these ideas upon these children, dude. Like, all this sexual stuff and like all these things, man. It's fucking.
Fucking look at like the Kardashians.
Yeah, dude, everything. You know, the Kardashians were not very pretty before their fucking plastic surgery. They got the plastic surgery and they got fucking good looking. You know, oh jeez. But like, I don't know. It's crazy how fucking the idea of an image can craze a nation.
Yeah, it's fucking insane. It doesn't crazinate, it fucking indoctrinates them.
Yeah, pretty much.
Who do little, like, do you remember when people were sucking on shot glasses to fucking get lips like Kylie Jenner?
Yeah. Yeah.
Like, I mean, are you fucking, like, and that's like little, like, I mean, it's fucking insane, dude. It's fucking,
It's the young kid stuff.
it's fucking Mockingbird.
Yeah.
I almost said Jay again.
Mockingjay, dude, I love that movie. Dude, Mockingbird, though, with, you know, like, I mean, the mind control and everything behind Mockingbird, too, which is just fucking crazy. I don't know.
I mean, you think about it this way, too, like, the media, look a lot of, like, I always encourage people to look at, like, alternative media, like, Phil DeFranco, who's, like, a really, like, leftist alternative media.
Or DylanTellsTheTruth.com. That's another good one.
Sure. Like CRTV, like alternative media. I just kept going. Alternative media will never show like the face and like they'll never show the face or share the name of like a serial killer or like a mass shooter. But guess who fucking does? It's the mainstream media.
Yeah.
You know what that fucking and that. You guys are fucking.
You can find all this information at DylanTellsTheTruth.com.
Please don't go. There's probably a porno.
For like the first like 4 pages, it's a porno, but after that, Dylan Trails.
You should change the name of that website to Dylan Reviews Porn.
Right, so.
But
DylanTrolls.com.
This lady's
Yeah,
thighs were very nice looking, a little
Okay,
under
okay.
tan, but for
Alright,
the most
well,
part,
no.
very nice looking.
what I was getting at is the mainstream media, which is like, I mean, it doesn't. The mainstream media is fucking hurting right now with like all these other news outlets on YouTube
Mhm.
and their own websites, podcasting. They're fucking the mainstream media. Rachel Maddow pulls as many views as fucking Steven Crowder does on a video.
But
Who the
Steven
fuck is
Crowder is
Crowder?
Steven Crowder is the guy who does the
The
fucking
Tranny Bane.
Steven Crowder. Wait,
The what?
You guys remember that Tranny Bane?
Tranny
What?
Bang.
Tranny Bane.
Tranny
Where
Bane.
he's the transgender Bane from Batman.
No, I've never seen that in my
I
life.
showed you it like a month ago.
Well, it sucks
So
because I
there's,
don't remember it.
He's his intern go to South by Southwest as the robot. He like goes to the gender meeting and he's like, I identify as a MacBook Pro.
Yo, dude,
I might
that
just
shit
watch
was
that
serious.
one.
That shit was
Is he
fucking-
serious?
No.
Because I think
No, he's
I think
joking.
I might have the fucking same like affliction.
Dude, this kid was in the support group and like they eventually told him to leave, but it was a
It was
while.
fucking
And one of the
hilarious.
guys in this room they had this kid go into a gender or thing, whatever, and have everyone saying what they identify as, and he's like in fucking cardboard, dressed up like a robot, saying that he's a fucking computer. And one of the funniest things of that video is that another guy asked him and was making fun of him in a way, which was like super fucking disrespectful, but this guy was like a part of Louder with Crowder, like a
Yeah.
part of his podcast. So like everyone in the room is fucking just like, holy shit. Like what the fuck?
just happened?
Like we aren't gonna say nothing because this guy just fucking ripped on this kid, like this fucking robot kid.
Yeah, it comes in
no.
like a fucking like like suit made out of like thermal blanket, and with like a fucking big ass box on his head. And he's like, "Identify as a PC. Don't call me MacBook. Beep beep."
When it was his turn to talk to, when it was his turn, they were going around the room, and he talks to all these people. He's like, I feel like I am the only one here who has actual problems. Who has actual problems with?
And it's like a German.
Like it's like this German boy who doesn't understand English. And he's like, I feel like I'm the only one here with problems that matter. Like,
Yeah, he's like, there's like a trans girl, and she's like talking about shit, and he's like, I don't think that your problems are that big of a deal.
yeah.
But fuck, I lost my train of thought. We went into that for way too long. But no, it's the fucking. I feel like the amount of people that are involved in like Pedogate is fucking insane. Like the emails that were released, like named Barack Obama and shit in them and stuff. Like it's fucking.
Dude, it goes to the whole like, and like, it just goes to the whole government. First of all, how you even fucking like you literally can't take down, you can't aim at the government because of the media being controlled by the CIA and all this shit. Like you can't even fucking go at it. It's gonna happen. It literally with the higher ups, like it could be shed in more light, but the only way for it to actually change is for those people to die out and have fresh
Put
blood.
them in jail, bro. Put them in jail.
Well,
Well,
we
I
can't put them in jail.
how is
It's
it-
happening in Iceland.
They
Why can't we do it here?
They control everything.
They've done it in Iceland.
Well, the mayor elites weren't as elite as the ones we got here.
They
We
probably
got
got
some
that.
fucking,
You're right
we got
on
some
that, for sure.
monsters. We've got monsters
Goddamn
from
Clintons,
way,
bro.
way back in the day, and being U.S. and being like one of the most powerful forces and shit, like having so much backing from countries that we are forcing to back us.
Yeah.
Like we have so much fucking pull that with our money, like our assets and everything as a country. Fuck that we've been in debt. We're in debt because we borrowed so much shit that we literally control so much shit, and the higher ups, like they're never gonna be touched ever until they die and people replace them. But as long as they don't get replaced with
Well,
more
what's gonna
fucked up
happen? What's gonna happen? Yeah, well, more fucked up people. What's happening to people as a general with fucking internet and shit? Like people are getting more and more fucked up by the fucking day.
everything they want to post. There's so much fucking
my
shit.
thing is, how is it? Okay, it's 2018. America was officially liberated in 1776. How is it? How is Donald fucking Trump, the fucking retail tycoon, the first president to pass a law like that was more strict on sex offenders? How is our 45th president? The fuck
Well,
you.
you think about all these other presidents, man, like fucking, Thomas Jefferson, to name one. Think about, he was a fucking, all he did was fucking black chicks, man. He was getting them slaves fucking.
You talking about all these presidents are probably in the same shit that literally, like you think about, like I mean, we think about like new presidents coming out and technology making it easier for them to be involved in this huge like ring of it. But you know, we also got to think like, I mean, yeah, we have internet now to be able to move all of this shit, which is huge. But thinking about back in the day, how they didn't have to worry about dick. They didn't have to worry about
sure.
It's
dick.
just all word of mouth.
It was and they like
They could
literally
kill somebody.
they could kill someone. They could kill whatever the fuck
Well,
they
they still
want.
do. They still do.
Yeah.
They still do. But I mean, obviously, technology is getting bigger. People are able to. There's people outside of government that know just as much about computers and intelligence
Oh,
than,
for sure.
and that's where you have hackers. You have fucking, spies and everything. Like people, can do a whole lot more with the internet nowadays. But it makes them, I think, if they're using it, a lot more susceptible to other people being able to come in and find out the truth. That's why I feel like even though it's been such a big thing, bigger with the internet, now we finally have the other people coming in and they're getting in trouble for
That's
it.
why I feel like there's the scare of the internet where they're talking about like trying to like censor the internet and shit. It's because no one knew how big the fucking internet was gonna be.
Yeah.
No.
Like it,
Blew
that
up.
shit blew up. They said that the government was 20 years ahead of society back in the day, like in the 80s and shit, with their technological capabilities, and now we're catching up. Like we're like 5 years behind or something like that.
They literally won't be able to, like, I mean, as far as it goes from hacking and all this shit and people being able to
Yeah, because
code
people are a
break it.
lot smarter than they think, man.
Well, they used to, I mean, now that's why everyone's getting fucking caught
Yeah,
with
they-
everything. It's fucking
Yeah,
awesome.
the fucking 13 judges that were caught for peddling children to juvenile systems. There were like 17.
Just think how long this shit happened.
sheriffs.
So hold on, can you go? Okay, wait, say that again.
There were like 13 judges.
13
Like
judges
literally, there's like
that were
47 indictments on Trump's new like human trafficking / sex abuse of children. It's not his new one. It was like the first thing he did, but his executive order. There's like 13 judges. Like I can't remember if it's 17 or 7. I know that's like a big jump, but there's county sheriffs involved, local politicians that have been busted. Like there's like the first year of Trump's presidency, they just because of his program busted. I think it was like 1,448 or something like that people
Yeah,
for human trafficking and sex abuse of children.
that's crazy. But that's why it's. I mean, now we've got someone like Trump in there fucking going after these people. Like that's like when you look at the well-being of our nation and with our kids and stuff like that, the fact that we have someone in there that's actually like, not only do the people have more technology, our government is now has the technology is going after everyone. Like it's such a I feel like it's a good
crazy
thing.
too.
Even if we don't, even if we aren't able to prosecute like the bad people, if we can stick with this train of righteousness
Right.
with our president and have it keep going, like eventually I feel like, yeah, people are still always going to be there, but those big rings of people like
Right. Especially
you
when
can,
finding them.
oh my god, like we'll be able to find them for fucking sure.
Well, it's crazy though because it's like, they're like, oh, Donald Trump, why are all these things coming up now? Why are these big prostitution rings coming out? It's because
They didn't cover it when it started.
they didn't cover it when they started. Yeah, it's because he's bringing them out to fucking light,
Because, well, it's not only that. It's at the same time he was fucking calling Kim Jong Un little rocket boy. At the same time he was passing these laws.
Yeah.
Like what is the fucking
Just like right
what
fucking
are
now.
they they're literally just talking about it now, like in the last month. What like this happened a year almost and a half ago.
Why are they calling him little tomboy or something?
Well,
Little
because they were
rocket boy,
trying.
'cause it was
He was
that's
trying
what
to
Trump
pass
called him
another
on
shit,
Twitter.
dude. He was trying to fucking make you see one thing and pass another thing on the on the offhand.
They're trying to call Kim Jong Un that?
No,
Yeah.
Trump
Trump
did
that.
do that.
Yeah.
No, Trump did call Kim. He literally tweeted like this. They did a whole South Park episode on it. It is like where Twitch
Twitch or
Was-
tweet
tweet,
was
yeah.
messaging.
and
Okay.
messaging with Donald Trump, and he was like, "Tweak ain't scared of North Korea. Tweak says North Korea's a bitch. We got more rockets and more firepower. Tweak ain't scared and shit like that." It's one of my favorite episodes of South Park ever.
Yeah, I remember that shit. That was fucking good.
But no, like literally Trump like tweeted, "Little rocket boy thinks that he can scare me with his nuclear warheads," and he's like, "I have a button that actually works sitting right next to my desk that will obliterate his entire country," like shit like that. And so like this is the same time that he was passing the fucking sex offender
Yeah,
reform.
dude. He does
And-
a lot of shit, man. That's like he'll fucking like push your attention one place, and fucking be like a magician.
But it's
fucking
that's
hit another
the way America needs to be tamed, because there's so much shit that we don't even look at. There's so
But
many.
we don't
there's-
want to look at it. Like
We
you think about like all the shit that Hillary Clinton's been accused of, and like literally verbally attacking and legally attacking the people that accuse Bill Clinton of sexual misconduct, and Hillary Clinton as a proud feminist, literally attacking the fuck out of them, and it's recorded. It's on fucking CNN, Fox News, everything, and people want to see her as a feminist because they're like, oh, they see her as like nowadays they see her as their great aunt or their grandma. Like, oh, my grandma, like think about like fucking George Bush Sr. Could you imagine your grandpa sexually assaulting a girl, a reporter?
Yeah, my grandpa's crazy like that though.
I couldn't, but he's not. George Bush Sr. is not.
You know, best of me.
God damn it, Bestify!
I mean, like, straight up, they call it like the fucking relative effect, is where like you see this politician, look at Nancy Pelosi, who's been in fucking over the fucking black community forever, and she still is the fucking senator for the black community in California. Like, are you kidding me? And they're like, oh,
she likes hot sauce on her fucking barbecue wings.
And then the excuse is like she's been doing it. They're like, oh no, she's for us. Like she's with us. She lives in like a fucking $43 million mansion.
Yeah.
In a different neighborhood.
And that's what, like, how do you think Warren Buffett is like a good humanitarian for us? He's got a mansion in every single country in the world.
Warren Buffett's definitely going to Bohemian Grove, dog.
Oh, dude, he's fucking eating children.
And it's not just fucking Democrats; it's Republicans too. Like, it's
Republicans are the main people.
Republicans are the main people but Democrats were also a part of it. Like,
but
it doesn't matter who's a part of what. It's just about the people that are fucked up.
It's the main fucking rulers of this world.
My biggest thing that just makes me super fucked up is that let's say you have people at work, or you have friends. You know, let's say you have friends that are coming to your house and they're gonna say like, hey dude, I know you're a goody two-shoes kid, but we want to explain to you why it would be a good thing to egg this house. Because you won't get in that much trouble. It would be fun as fuck. How do you go, and like even getting them into that, how do you know that person's not going to rat? How do you know no one's going to rat in the future? How do you fucking get all these fucking people? How do you find these people that are so into this? Like I know they could find some lower class people by being on the sex offender list and on the sex, like that's what they've done before, is they've gotten people from literally sites that are saying like, I'm a, male escort, like that's, but like, how do you get these workers that come into the business? How do you find them and trust them completely? And how is it not gotten unearthed before that someone with the right conscience, like, because they'll get killed. That's the biggest reason, I think, because they'll get killed if they say anything or do anything.
If you got a price on your head for money, bro, you got a price on your head for death.
But like, how do they get all these people? Like, I get how it's tradition and connected, but you have people coming from different parts of, around the country that are fucking like you don't even see them as being like connected. And then, like, for somehow they all get connected. Not a ton. It's all kind of connected because of people have these ties. But how do these people get ties with, like, the Obama administration? How does the Obama administration have ties to the Bush administration?
It's the same people running those administrations.
It's the people running them, but are they picking these people? Are they having to go and talk to them? Like, how do you have that initial conversation?
Saying
like the next person to be in your pedophilic group, like, because you can't just pick from anyone. You have to pick from certain people. If you wanted Obama to be president, you can do that by public influence, but you never know if he's actually going to win unless you rig it, which they could. But it's like but everyone else involved, people that like you have to have come in that are like going to be involved, like you have to literally go and talk to these people and say like, Tim, we've been friends for a long time now, okay? Now I want to be honest with you. How much against raping children are you? And this is not even a serious question. Okay?
100% Bob. 100% Bob.
This isn't serious. You thought I was serious? Oh my god, you're fucking.
Oh,
But like, but for real,
like how old are the children?
they could range anywhere from 5 to 16.
Fuck it, list them all.
Too old. All right, you're in. You're in. You're in the crew, dude. You are in, dog. 100%. We want you.
Right, so did you get your answer to why or how they get ties to like the Obama administration?
Oh yeah, of course.
No, it's like it's just the
Yeah,
way
it's
that
fucking
it,
donators,
it's
man.
just no, it's not the how they get ties. It's just the process of asking new people to come in. We were talking about that, saying you have to walk up to your fucking coworker Jim and be like, Jim, so what do you think about raping kids? Hypothetically, Jim.
Like, okay, so like this one girl, she's like 14. You want it? Too old? Too old? Too old?
Well, no. You're in. We want you to run for president.
For president.
Dude, just watch House of Cards, man.
I
You can't do it. Dude's a rapist too.
Yeah, but
Yeah,
no,
he
the way they get into like the Obama
You're
administration and
rapist,
shit like that
Spacey.
is they fucking donate. They
Oh
you
yeah,
know,
of
you know
course.
the
There's all
easiest way to get a sit down with someone, fucking give them money. You pay them. You pay them to
Yeah,
fucking
dude.
sit down.
Well,
with
they had
them.
like fucking for Clinton. They had like fucking what $100,000 plates of food. That's fucking ridiculous.
It's fucking insane.
$100,000 plates of food. Like
Yeah.
the food itself was $100,000.
No, it costs like that.
Yeah.
It costs $100,000.
It was $100,000 for a
Plate.
plate of food, so they could fucking get like fucking, income for their fucking shit.
It's fucking like that's your in is you fucking become a donor.
Isn't that crazy how like $100,000 a plate is like for them for the entrance fee to start making a bunch more money?
You know
Like,
what's really fucked up, dude? Like I heard this thing the other day, dude. It was
tell us, don't be shy.
I'm trying to tell you right now, brother man. It was
Brother,
like
man.
brother
Okay.
man. It was like a million seconds is 11 days, and 1 billion seconds is 37 years. That's how fucking crazy. Like people don't realize how much like money and how much fucking difference is between those two numbers.
Yeah.
11 days.
Well,
and 37
billions of fucking unsurmountable number
people are
until you reach that number.
People are fucking.
Until you reach that number, you have no comprehension of what that number means.
Right.
Like it's like 1 million to us right now would be a
I
fucking incomprehensible number.
I could do it. I have billions of girls who don't want to date me.
Hey,
I have billions of girls who laugh at the size of my nipples.
Whoa.
Damn.
Can't-
Alright.
I don't know like that, Dylan.
It is like that. Very
Well, you
much is like that.
You know what's crazy if you look at it? Like
Like those nipples.
My backwater's gonna taste great, dog. The nacho backwater.
All right. Oh no! You got it all over my stuff.
What's crazy to me is like
God damn it!
what's crazy to me is like the amount of like these people that have been exposed for like sexual shit. I can't. Just watching his mouth in the kitchen sink. I'm hurting inside right now. This episode is brought to you by Booty Pillows.
Exactly. Don't deny it. Just do it.
It gives you the height you want and the comfort you need. Booty Pillows.
Believe it.
Trademark. Oh my fucking god.
I think I'm done, bro. I gotta go to bed, bro.
Are you like legit done?
I legit might be done, bro.
Alright, we'll wait till he comes back down. We'll do a send off.
It was too much for me.
Oh fuck.
It's fucking, what, like fucking 12.
I can't read the computer screen
Oh,
from this
God.
distance. I don't remember what pocket I
It's
put
probably,
myself on.
about 12, bro.
It's probably getting there.
I got fucking work. Hey,
It's
if you don't
11:02.
want me to work and you want me to keep fucking putting these podcasts up, you might as well fucking subscribe. Then I won't have to fucking work anymore.
We're at an hour and 40 minutes too.
Jesus Christ, it's
I'm
fucking
very
A.
sorry.
Oh my god, it's been that long.